In this video, we will talk about conditional operators in Python. So conditional operators in Python are operators that control the flow of the program. Let's see with the example. So in the previous class, we have talked about operators. Let me select this white color. In the previous class, we have talked about operators. So operators in Python are nothing but when we talk about plus, minus, this is what multiplication is, this is what division is, and this is what modulus. If we talk about a square is nothing but double asterisk, right? But when we talk about conditional operator, it gives a sense of something that performs only on certain conditions, right? Operator that have conditions or operator that works on conditions. Why it is required? So in the previous class, we talked about operators and it is required to perform calculation. It's nothing but you can create a good calculator, right? You can create calculator, just a basic one, or you can create a complex one if you know Python very well. So it's not only that we can make calculator, we can do AI, we can do a lot of these things, but these are the basic uh, fundamentals of creating those things, right? So when we talk about conditional operator, let's learn the definition. Conditional operators like if, else, and elif control the flow of the program. So previously we talked about plus, minus, multiplication, division. Here we are talking about if, else, and elif. Okay. So these operators, conditional operators are if, comma, else, comma, elif. Okay. It is not plus minus. It is not just symbol now. It is kind of high level language. If, else, elif. Once I talk about this one, you will know that okay, this kind of things we are already using in real world. Programming is nothing but a concept taken from real world and implemented into programs. Because we are nothing, we are just doing the task, right? We are doing the task but programmatically. We are telling our computer to perform certain steps programmatically. How to do it? We have taken few examples, we have taken a lot of examples from real world and put into the programs. Here we are calling if, else, elif. Plus is also like that. If I want to add how many bananas I have today and how many bananas I have yesterday, it will be 4. This is just example of yesterday and today. This is a simple thing. That's why the requirements are. I will give you an example of TV also. That nothing in this world came from just experimentation. It came because we first have the requirement. This is not the part of the slide, but let me just tell you. This is an good fact, right? Good fact to know. So let's talk about TV. Can we think of a way that think of an requirement where TV is required? Why someone created TV in the first place? Let me tell you in short. So because the the army required some way to display their lights, display their on and off, display some stuff, that what is the number, or maybe whether thing is on or off. So the first TV that was ever created and experimented was just light bulb. Okay, so let me create this one, was just light bulb. Okay, so it does not have LED, it does not have OLED, it does not have CRT monitor or anything. It was just this glass enclosed in a enclosed bulb was enclosed in a glass, and if this is turning on, it means something is on. If this is off, the display is off. It was just a single bulb. So the requirement first came from army. Then later on they created lot of bulbs, lot of different. Then now if you check, we have like millions of bulb in the palm of our hand. That is our mobile, right? Mobile displays are nothing but a very small grids of bulbs, very small grids of bulbs that emits light and you can see the screen. Okay, just an fact out of blue, but Yeah, it is required that lot of the requirement came from real world first, then we move to how to implement it. Okay, so the same requirement came from conditional operator. Okay, we use these things in real world. So these operators allow you to code to make decision and execute different blocks of code accordingly. Okay, so let's have some example of the real world, then we will do the same code in Python. Okay, I will write the same code in Python. So suppose the objective is, the problem statement is, let me write objective. Objective is to buy a cake. Okay. So let's talk about requirement. What are the required things and in which steps, in which stages we will check one by one the task, right? So the first task, the first small program will be to check the size of cake required. The size of cake required. Okay, first we will check the size of cake required. Maybe we will ask our family or our friends that what is the size of cake required, whether it is half a kg, half a pound, or whatever is required. Then we will check enough money in purse or not. Enough money in purse or not. Then we will start driving. Okay, so this step is like not required here, so I will remove this. Then we will list down the shops that may have this cake. Okay, then on fourth we will check by going on each shop which one is having the same cake. We need to first check whether we want a pricey cake or we want a quality cake, or depends on our objective. But here I'm just talking about if the price of cake in shop A is less, then buy it. If it is not, if it's under your budget, buy it. If it is not under your budget, go to next shop. So first, suppose our budget was 800, but in shop A it was 950. Will we buy it? No. Now let's go to shop B. Now the shop B is having 750 rupees. Is it under budget? Yes. So don't even go to shop C and buy it. So what are we doing? We have certain checks, we have certain conditions that this is the money I have, this is the money that shop is having, whether to buy it or not, whether I will be able to buy that cake or not. These are certain conditions that we need to perform if we want to make a program out of it. Can I do this program with minus, plus, multiplication? No. These are used for calculation. Here it is not calculation. Here it is something like whether something is equal or not, something is greater than or not, something is smaller than or not, if that is available, if not. These are the things which are coming. If it is available, if not, then what, right? These are the things that comes in our mind when we face similar kind of situation in real world. Understand? So we will implement, that's why we use in Python, we have conditional operators. These are called conditional operators. If, elif, else. Okay, these three are conditional operators. There are more like not and others, but we will check this. Okay, so we will first focus on these three conditional operators. So what is if? So let's first understand the definition, then, because definition is mostly harder to grasp, but when we talk about practical, when we learn practical, then the definition will be like, okay, now we understand that fact that what that definition means. So when a condition is evaluated, Python executes the corresponding block based on whether the condition is true or false. This is essential for creating dynamic and responsive healthcare applications. What do you mean by dynamic and responsive? This one, right? It is dynamic. It is not static that I need to buy from shop A only, always. It depends on the value. Whatever value you have, the code will run accordingly. Either A, either B, either C. That is called dynamic. Okay. So apart from this one, to complete conditional operators, we will have or and not. Okay, we will learn each one of them one by one. Let's first learn or. In real world, or are also logical operators but are coming from different computer science branch. So to understand it, or means, let's talk about or first. Or means if something is true, okay, let me talk about value of a and b. Value of a and b. Suppose a is one value, b is another value. If a is true, b is true, or is, let me talk about answer here, the output or will give will also be true. Okay, let me remove this. We are first learning or here. Okay, if a is true, b is true, this will also give me true. Now if a is true, b is false, then the answer is again true. If a is false, b is true, then again the answer is true. If a is false, b is also false, then answer is true. So or means give me true when any one of the value is true. Let me write it down. What for states that or if any value is true, answer is true. If both are false, if both or all are false, answer will be false. Simple. You need to kind of uh, remember this, but this is what or is. Okay, or is a logical operator. This comes from electronic concept, but this came into programming as well because this is very important. Or, okay, if any of the value is true, answer will be true. If any or all of the values, if both or all of the values are false, just like this situation, the answer will be false. Okay, this is or operator. Let's talk about and. What and says? And says if both values are same, then it is true. Okay, it means true comma true will give you true, false comma false will give you false. Okay, false comma false will also give you true. Both needs to be same. Okay, if there is any combination like true and false will give you false, false and true will also give you false. Okay, let me write this one as down. I'm just writing as tt. True is true, true false is false, false true is also false, then false false is true. Understand? Right now you will not understand that what is the use of this true and false. Within few minutes we will understand that what is the meaning of true and false. Okay, but understand this, you need to kind of remember this, that what is or, what is and what is the logic behind it, how it works like. Okay, so this is about and. The final thing is not. Not is simple. If the value is true, not will return the opposite, false. if the value is false, nor not will return true. It does not take pair as input, it only takes singular value, true and false. Okay, let me write it down with a different color. Let's write in green. Not. If my input is true, output is false. Opposite. If my output is false, what is opposite? True. Okay. The final thing is this true and false are called binary. We talked about this in a few of the starting classes, that what is binary. Computer understands language of binary, 0 and 1. 0 means electricity off, 1 means electricity on. The same thing stands for 0 is false, 1 is true. Binary. So these are also called as binary. Okay, binary numbers, binary operators. Okay, true and false are binary operators. So before starting if and else, we need to kind of remember all this. See, we haven't even started if and else yet. Okay, but if we understand this or and or not, it is very very easy to understand things. Okay, or again I'm repeating, or is if any of the value, if any of the value is true, it is true. It both can be true also. Okay, but if both or all are false, then only it is false. The condition I've already written. This is true true, also true. True false, also true. False true, also true, because one of them contains true. That's why it is true. But if both are false, then it is true. If both are false, then only it is false. Sorry about this one. If both are false, then only it is false. In all three conditions, it is true. In this condition only, it is false. Okay. But what happens in AND? If this and this are present, then only it is true. In both cases, it is false. Understand? That is AND operator. And not is just opposite of the given value. True is false, false is true. That is not. Okay. So now let's go to if and else. Now let me write if, elif and else. Let's take a number. Suppose number is my variable and the value I assigned is 10. Okay. So now I want to write if number is greater than 11. Okay. Now let's check. This is a high level, this is just a high level language. So what are we checking? If my number is, I'm just writing in English. Okay. If number is greater than 11. Now what is the answer? What will be the answer? First check, what is number? Number is a variable. What this value holds? This holds 10. Is 10 greater than 11? No, 10 is not greater than 11. So what is the answer? False. We just said, right? 10 is not greater than 11. How will you say programmatically? False. 10 is not greater than 11. So if I change this value to 12, number equals to 12, it means 12 is a value which is assigned to number variable. Okay. Now let's check. If number is greater than 11, it means if 12 is greater than 11, what will be the answer? Yes. But yes is an English word. In program, it will be true. Understand? This is operator. Greater than operator. There are multiples. Greater than operator, smaller than operator, double equal. Okay, it means I will tell you. Okay, it checks if both of the sides are equal or not. Okay, it will check if both of the sides are equal or not. Then greater than equal to, then smaller than equal to. We write this one as greater than equal to, last one is smaller than equal to. Okay, so we will see example of each one of them. So first let me start with example. It will be easier to understand. Then we will move to these topics. Okay. So after this cell, let me create one code block. Okay. Let's perform each one of them one by one. Let's assign variable number. I'm just writing it as number temporary. Okay, I can write anything. So I'm just assigning this as 12. Okay. Now I want to check if I'm writing the same thing. This is in Python. That's why it is pink. Can you see? Because Python knows this. So Python is making it as pink. We will talk about it. These are called keywords. Okay. If number temporary is greater than 12, then what I'm doing, I'm just printing greater. Okay. I'm just printing simple thing. So what will be the output? Let's understand line by line. What this variable is holding? Number temporary variable is holding value of 12. So it will come here. Okay. It will check if what is number here? 12 is greater than 12. Is 12 greater than 12? No. 12 is actually equal to 12, not greater. So what will be the answer here? Answer will be false. So it will not go inside. Okay. So what is this concept? What do you mean by not going inside? So as I talking about cake example, only if you have money greater than the money shop A is selling. Shop A hyphen cake is selling hyphen cake price. Let me write this is down. Okay. If your money is greater than or equal to, okay, let me just write greater than right now. If your money is greater than the price shop A is selling, then only buy a cake, right? Then only buy a cake. So how can you write in Python that if you have this condition satisfied, then only buy a cake? We write this in Python like if money greater than, suppose this is my variable name, cake A price, I have to mention this colon. Let me write things which are this specific. Green is variable name, red is what Python knows, keywords, operators, this symbol. This is called as colon. Okay. Then we need to press enter and don't not start from here. We need to press tab, then it will start from here. Okay. Then if this condition satisfy, go inside if block, then execute this. Okay. If condition does not satisfy, don't go inside. Don't go inside. So let's check how it looks like in Python. It will be clear in that. Can you see? After colon, if I press enter, I have this space. This is called indent. Okay. INDENT. So if I don't give this, let's see what Python does. Python will show me indentation error, because once Python see this line, this colon, in the next line it is expected indentation. Are we giving any indent? No. So just press tab and it will go to the next indent automatically. Okay, so if I run this now, let's see what will happen. Why it is not doing anything? Can anyone think of an idea why it is not doing anything? Because it is not going inside. I told you 12, what is the value in number temporary? It is holding value of 12. Is 12 greater than 12? No, 12 is not greater than 12. That's why it is not going inside. Only if this is true, then only it will go inside. So if block always accept true, the value of this condition should be true, then only it will go inside. So let me give you an example. Let's do the same thing without checking anything. I'm just writing true. This is called Boolean value. I told you, right? Boolean, true or false. T should be capital in Python. If you write small, Python doesn't know it. Okay, it is throwing error. So capital T is what Python understand for this Boolean value. If you want to make use of Boolean value, then capital T. Then let me write the same thing. Let me run. It will print greater, but it doesn't print greater from this block. It printed greater from this block, because if only checks that the whatever the result, whatever calculation we are doing should return true, the value should be true. 12 is greater than 12, no, so it is false. So it is, if I make it false, it will never run. See, there is no output now, because it expects true. Whatever the expression is, this is the expression, right? It should return true. But is this statement making sense? No, it is not checking anything. It will always print. What is the use of making if? If this is always true, I can just print, right? I can just print like 10 times. Why do I need to check it? That's why we are not using if true. Okay, let me remove it. You understood my point, right? If this block is always true, why to even use if block? Why to use even operator conditional? Right? Conditional operator. Why to even use that? So I'm not going to write this. We are going to write like this. Okay. So this is an example of greater than operator. I'm just writing it. Okay. This does not, whatever I write here is only going to print. It does not have any logic. Print statement does not checks logic. Logic is checked by if block and this one. Okay. So now I want to do multiple things. I want to make use of multiple operator. If temporary number is greater than or equal to, then I will write greater than or equal operator example. So I'm just writing this. This one is only greater than. This one is greater than or equal to. Now let me write smaller than. It will make sense in a minute. Smaller than. Then the final will be smaller than or equal to. Okay, let me make 5. Smaller than or equal to. Okay. Okay. Smaller than or equal to okay. The final operator is double equal. That is comparison operator. This operator only compares. See, we have similar example like this. We have similar operator like this. We have two operators that may confuse you. The first is a equals to 2. Second is a equals to 2. This one is assignment operator. Okay, this one is different. This one is assignment operator. This one is comparison operator. So what this operator does? This operator assigns the value that is present on right side to the left side. This operator compares the value from the right side to the value present on the left side. This is not assigning the value. A already should have some value. A is a variable. Here A should be empty or any other value, but it will update the variable present in the A. Understand? We are using this variable to assign, to kind of initiate our variable value, state. In this one, A already holds some value. We are checking if both this value and this value are equal or not. That is the difference between assignment single equal and double equal, that is comparison operator. So just think about it. And first my variable is this one. Which of the print statement will print? How many print statement we will see? So let's check one by one. Number temporary. The number temporary current is holding 12. The value of number temporary variable is 12. Is 12 greater than 12? No. Will this run? No. It will go to the next line. See, I told you Python is a top-down parser. It means it starts from top and it do the coding. It understands the coding one by one. It executes the coding one by one, line by line. So number 12, it assigns it. Then it is checking, is 12 greater than 12? No, 12 is equal to 12. So it means this is false. Will it go inside? No. Let's go to the next line. It will not even go inside. It will first check this. If the answer is false, it will directly go here. It will only go inside if this if is true. Understand? So if temporary, that is number 12, is greater than or equals to 12. Okay, so number is not greater than, but number is equal to 12. So it will check it. Okay, because this one is two operators, greater than or equal to. So it means it will check all number which is equal to or greater than 12. Then only this block will run. It will check all number which is greater than or equal to 12. So is 12 greater than or equal to 12? Yes, it is equal to 12. So it will go inside now. What is inside? Inside we have written instruction to print this paragraph, print this line only. Not logic. It will, if you write hello here, it will print hello. So because I want something understandable, I have written greater than or equal. I've just written the operator name itself. Greater than or equal operator example. It will print. Is the program ended? No. There are more lines now. So it will go here. Is there anything? No. Let's go to the next line. If number is 12 smaller than 12? No. 12 is not smaller than 12. Will it go inside? No. Because this is false, it will directly come here, jump here. Understand? If 12 is smaller than or equals to 12, it means all the numbers that are equal to 12 or smaller than 12 will be true. Number 12 is smaller than or equals to 12? Yes. Number 12 is equal to 12. So it will go inside. Then it will print smaller than or equal to. This is the name of the operator, right? Smaller than or equal to. It will print this. Is the block ended? Yes, this block is ended. So let's come out of the if block. See, whatever is inside if comes under if block. Whatever comes inside this indentation comes under this block. Okay, comes under this if. Suppose this if is like a class captain. Okay, so this class captain has power only on the things which are inside his indentation. This is the indentation, right? If you come out of the indentation, if I write any print, it is not part of this if block. It is part of this whole code. Okay. Only the part that is inside this if is part of this if block. Understand? This requires practice, but if it is just for understanding, then this is totally fine. Okay. So this will print smaller than or equal to. So we have two print now. It will print greater than or equal. It will print smaller than or equal. This block is completed. Is there any lines inside this if block? No. Then it will jump to the next line. It will check if number is equal to 12. Is this number and this number are same? It will check it. Yes, 12 is equal to 12. Then it will print comparison operator example. So it should, if I run this program, it should print three things: greater than or equal to, smaller than or equal to, comparison operator example. Okay, let me write 2 here. Now let's run. So it printed three things line by line. First it went here, false, true, then it printed, then it checks this, printed. Okay, line by line it is doing. See, this is the first, this is second, this is third. Okay, so it prints line by line. So if I change the number, let's change the number to 10. Okay, which part should print? Only this one should print. Okay, or this one should print. Both should print. A smaller than operator and smaller than or equal to operator. Let's see the example. A smaller than operator is also true. A smaller than or equal to operator is also true. You understand, right? This is the logic. This is how you can write lot of different logic. So now let's go to the next part, that is different example, a little bit complex example. So here we have blood pressure calculation. Okay, suppose we have systolic pressure is 141 and diastolic pressure is 120. We have two different pressures, systolic and diastolic. So we are checking if it is nothing but a variable, but because we have given a variable a name with appropriate value, this represents something now related to healthcare, that is systolic pressure, health diastolic pressure. So if systolic pressure is greater than 140, if this pressure is greater than 140, and here it is or. Okay, what was the meaning of or? This was or. If any value is true, then true. If both or all are false, then false. Okay, you can take a look at this slide later. This requires some understanding and you need to kind of remember it. Then it will be just, you will be switching into a click that okay, this is if, this is else, this is or. There are a lot of new concepts in this class. So this is again a conditional statement. Then or. Diastolic pressure is greater than 90. If systolic pressure, I'm just reading it in English. If systolic pressure is greater than 140 or diastolic pressure is greater than 90. Don't look at this one now. Don't look at this part. If systolic pressure is greater than 140 or diastolic pressure is greater than 90, then make hypertension status equals to high. So we are checking hypertension status. Is it high or normal? So if this condition satisfy, we are saying that your hypertension status is high. So let me write this down. Let me break this down one by one. Okay. So I'm writing systolic pressure as SP. What is the value of systolic pressure? First variable was SP is given as 141. Diastolic pressure is given as 120. Now what is the condition? If systolic pressure is greater than 140 or diastolic pressure is greater than 90, then your hypertension status, I'm just writing as hypertension status is equals to high. Let's break it down. So let's divide this into parts in our mind, not in coding. I'm dividing this and this in the first half. Then whatever the results are, I will calculate here. So let's solve inner boxes. Okay, let's solve one by one. So systolic pressure, what is the value? 141. This is 141, this is 120, right? Is 141 greater than 140? True, right? It is true. Then let's check, this part is calculated. The value, the answer of this part is true. Now this diastolic pressure, what is the value? 120 greater than 90. Yes, 120 is greater than 90. True. So now instead of this green box, think of something in your mind like, if true or true, then this colon, then high systolic pressure equals to high. So now let's solve this block now. I told you, right? We have solved this block. We have already solved this block. We have solved this block. And the answer is true and true. Then I told you this red box. What will be the output? True or true. Same thing I've written here. True or true. Okay. So true or true will be, this is OR. What OR states? If any of the value is true, the answer is true. But if both are false, then only it is false. So what is the condition here? Not only one, but both are true. Answer is true, right? So if I'm again writing this one, this is solved, and the answer of this is true. True or true will give you, I will show you this one. True or true will give you true. Understand? I'm just writing that same thing down. This is how Python will solve internally. We don't have to worry about it. If true, this true comes from solving this expression. If true, then hypertension will be high. We are assigning this string. This is string, right? We talked about integer, float, string, str. So anything enclosed with double quotes is string. Understand? So we are assigning this string to our variable hypertension status. Okay. So if it is true, then it will go inside. Understand? So output will be hypertension. So see, all these steps it will perform internally. It will first check this value, then it will first check this value, then it will perform OR, because OR is a binary operator. It requires two values to calculate, left and right. Then only it will perform the OR operation. Okay, that is checking. So what will be the output here? We are not even checking here. We are not even going here. Okay. Next I will talk about else and elif. Understand? So let me remove this just for now. So if this is true, if this is true, this variable should be high. Let me print it. What will be the output? Output should be, I'm just printing this variable only. Output should be high. What is the output? Output is high. If I write this as low, my logic is same. Whatever I'm writing will be printing, because what Python care about, Python is just doing this calculation, and whatever we want with that calculation will be just putting into the variable. I can make it hello also. There is no logic here. This will print hello because this condition is becoming true. Then what are we telling Python? We are telling Python to store hello in this variable. So it depends on us how we want the logic to work. Okay, it is us who decide the logic of our program. We want it high because it makes sense. So if this condition is true, then only this logic is, we are making it as high. Okay, now we understood if, we understood operators, we can use and depends on it. If we want, if in our uh, medical field we know that either this is greater, either this is the problem or this is the problem, if any of them is found, then that is the conclusion. But if we require something that requires both of them to be true, if your blood pressure is high and if your something like heart condition is not good, then there is a high probability that you are getting attack soon, right? So that requires both of them to be true. If something requires both of them to be true, not just one, we will use and, not or, because or is lose, right? Or will give true even if one of them is true. But if we want something that is very hard logic, right, that requires both of them to be true, only then focus on going inside the block, then use and here, not or. Understand? So that is the use of and or. So once you practice with that, you will get to know. So now what is else? Now next part will cover fast, don't worry, this classes will not extend too much. So if checks the real world, the first thing, if something is true, if whatever the statement you have written is true, then do something, then do something. But what happens if this is not true? What happens if the calculation or condition you are doing is false, right? Then there is another block. We are telling Python, again the colon, to do something. This block will only run if this will not run. Understand? Only if this block is false, then this will run. That is the use of else. Understand? So this is what we are doing here. If this came out to be false, that means in the logic we just don't want to do, if I remove this, Python will do nothing. If I just make the value as suppose, make it as 14 and 12. Okay, I know this is where this is not a real world data, but if I make the value very very short, Python, what Python is doing, Python is not doing anything, right? See, Python is, this is hello from the previous one, but Python, because the value is already set, right? So let me remove the value, so that, because the hello was previously set, right? In the memory, hello is there. So let me make the, this one is high, then let me go back 140, this one. Okay, so now if I run it, it will always print high because high is in memory. But don't worry, this is not even going inside. Okay, let me first change it. I'm just making it as none. None means nothing. First it has no value. If it is not going inside, the value will not change, the value will be none only. So what it is printing, it is not even going inside, value is none. Okay, none is again a variable of Python. We will talk about it is a special value, just like true or false, or also, or and not, none, these are Python specific only. Okay, so it is doing nothing, but I want in my Python code, if this condition is false, maybe say something. So let's say something, let's say patient data is normal. Okay, if this condition is false, it means your pressure is under control, your diastolic pressure is under control, then we just want to say my patient data is normal, because it will not go here, it will go to else. See, else does not have any condition. The only condition else is if an other thing should be false, then only else will run. If this is condition satisfied, else will not run. Understand? If this is true, else will not run. If this is false, only then else will run. Only if is wrong, if is false, then only else will run. Understand this? If else is true, if no, sorry for confusing. If block is true, if condition is true, else will not run. Only this program will run and it will go after the if block. It will go to print statement. If this is satisfied, it will go here, then it will not even go here. It will directly go to print. It will cover this block and it will cover this block. It will not even go here because if is already satisfied. Only one of this will run at a time. Only one of this will run at a time. So if this is already satisfies, it will not go to else. This is how your conditional statement works. Understand? So in this one, what should run? This one is true because the 141 is greater than 140 or 120 is greater than 90. Both of them are true. True or true also is true because of or. Variable is assigned to a value of high. It will not even go to else. Else will only run if everything else is false. Because this is true, it will not go to else. Then it will print hypertension status. What is the hypertension status? It is high. So if I remove one value, I will make it very small. What should be the output? This one is 14 greater than 140? No. Is 12 greater than 90? No. Both of them are false. And false or false is, let's go to OR block. False and false is false. Does if run on false? No. If only runs when it is true. If this is false, it will not go inside. If this is false, if everything is false, what Python will do? Python will run the else block. What is written in else block? Assign this line that patient data is normal to hypertension status. So if I run this, what will the output? Patient data is normal. Understand? It is saying patient data is normal because these values are not following the condition. Understand? Okay. So yeah. So let me revert this back. Now the final thing. We talked about if, we talked about else, now there is elif. Now in this same condition, let me talk about elif, and elif will not take time because you already understood the concept. Elif is something like, I am checking only one condition. If this condition is there, it is high. Else, patient is normal. But what happens if I have multiple conditions? So what happens if I have multiple conditions? So when I have multiple conditions, check this part. So if I have multiple conditions, I will use elif. I will use elif. So what is elif? This is elif. Elif. So if I want to check multiple things, suppose if I want to make some condition for medium. Now I want to make condition for medium. So if stylistic pressure is greater than suppose 120 and this one is greater than suppose 70, then I want to make my hypertension status is equals to medium. I want to make this as medium. So if this is not true, I want to check something different. I want to check some different logic. If that is also not satisfied, then only else will run. Understand? So this is like an intermediary check. It will do multiple things. If this is not true, then only it will check this. If this is also not true, then only it will check this. So this is like a single block, but only one will run at a time. Out of this three condition, only one will run at a time. So if I make 120, well, let's make 119, and let's make this as 60, not 60. Let's make this as, okay, let me check this condition. Okay, this condition is not true because I want a value, it should be greater than 120, and I'm just checking in the ELF block, I'm just checking this one, and stylistic pressure should be should be smaller than 140. Okay, so is 119, let me check 121. So what it will do now, let me make this end. Now I'm just making it more hard to check. Okay, now let's do this again. This is the new program but with ELF. Okay, is 121 greater than 140? False. In AND 1, if anything is false, it will not run. Okay, it will only run when both are true. Okay, and or either both are false. And check, let's, is 120 greater than 90? Yes, so it is. This one is false, this one is true. Will it go inside? No, and does not allow that, and only allows true true or false false. Will it go inside? No. Let's go to the second check. Suppose we have something, we have some other checks to do, and we are writing a program for that. Now uh, systolic pressure is 121. Is 121 greater than 120? Yes. And is 121 smaller than 140? Yes, it is also smaller. Then what we are doing, hypertension status is medium. Understand? Will it go inside if else block? No. This is true. I told you either one of them will work. This doesn't work, but this did work. So there is no need to go inside else. It will do only one at a time. If this is checked, it will directly come here. Understand? Now let me make this as 12. What will be the output? Patient data is normal. This is not correct. The condition does not satisfied. This one is also condition not satisfied because is 12 greater than 120? No. Is 12 smaller than 120? Yes. False and true is false and does not allow it. Will it go inside? No, it will not even go inside. So it will go inside else block. This is not satisfied, this is not satisfied, then only it is going to else. So you can have only one if block, but you can have multiple elif block. Maybe suppose you have multiple conditions, but in the same line. Okay, you have multiple conditions, you can have n number of elif block, but only one if and one else. Understand? If this is not true, then go to elif. If elif is also not true and different elif is present, go to different elif. Same thing, different elif, different elif. If none of the if and elif is correct, then go to else block. Understand? This is called if, elif and else blocks. What is the topic of today's? Today's topic is conditional operators. So you can create your own kind of precautions to check. Maybe you have machine output and you can check that this needs to be correct, then only this needs to be correct, then this needs to be correct, then only I will do the operations that needed to perform. Understand? So based on your conditions, see, I've changed the condition because if I make it greater than 120, then whatever is greater than 120, suppose I'm making this as, yeah, based on your condition you can check it. Okay, I'm not gonna do a lot of calculation here because that will just stretch the class. So let's see different example. We understood everything, if, elif, else. Let's see example one by one very fast. Okay, what is the age? Age is 28. If age is greater than or equal to 65, is 28 greater than or equal to 65? No. 28 is smaller than 65. Is it equal? No, it is also not equal. So this is false. Is what will be the value? This will not even go inside. So what else is doing? Else will not check any condition. If this is not working, directly go into the else. So see how cleverly we are writing. Vaccine eligibility will be not eligible directly. We are only doing eligible when certain condition is passing, else we are just saying you're not eligible. In real world also we do this, right? We have some criteria. If you're not falling under that criteria, cancel it. So we are doing just that, exactly as real world. So what will you print? Vaccine eligibility, not eligible. Third, diabetes management. Your glucose level is 120. Is 120 greater than 180? False. See, this is not a string. If it is not enclosed in double quotes and it is true and false, these are called Boolean values. Python handles it. Okay. This is not something we can change. This true and false are Python values. I will talk about this later. So what is the medication required? False. Because glucose level is not satisfying. So medication required? Yeah. No, we don't require medication. Critical condition alert. Heart rate is 155. 155 greater than 120? Yes, it is greater. Then what is the alert? What is the alert we want machine to say? We want our computer to say high alert rate, immediate action needed. So what this will print? I'm just running it. High heart rate, immediate action needed. Okay. Now go to the final one. This is using if, elif and else. BMI category determination. See, here we have used multiple condition. We have used elif. My BMI is 26.2. Let's check its value. Suppose you are asking this BMI from the patient or the machine. Now you have this logic in your computer which you want to run. Okay. Your BMI is 26.2. Is 26.2 smaller than 18.5? No, actually it is larger. So it will not go inside this block. It will go to if, elif. Is BMI, see it is a complex one. So first let's put the value of BMI. This because in this one it is unknown, right? What is the value of BMI? 26.2. Now let's check one by one. Is 26.1 is 26.2 smaller than 25? No. Is 26.2 greater than 18.5 or equal? If you check, 18.5 is smaller than or equal to 26.2. Yes. Okay. So what will be the value? No, because it acts like you need to check both of them. If you have multiple operator, you need to check both of them. So no, it is not. Then it will go directly to else. What is the else? Because it does not satisfy both condition, it is saying overweight. So you can use something like this as well. This is complex. I don't usually use this one. So you can either use and or not, or you can use the combination of different operators. So it means this number needs to be checked from this side, or it needs to be checked from this side. Both sides it needs to check. It is like an and operator. This condition needs to satisfied, this condition needs to satisfied, then only it will go inside. So this is false, this is false. What is the else? Else does not check condition. It will run if none of will work, else will run. What is the BMI category? Overweight. Let's run it. So you can create your own category. If you know something better, just put that values, whatever values you've researched with, and create your own BMI system with Python. Okay. This we are not nowhere near to AI, but we are learning Python here because we have lot of things we are going to understand in AI, and we need these tools. We need Python. Okay. This is what Python is. Logical operators and all those things. We will talk about more later in the class. So what is the use case? So conditional operators are vital for making decisions based on a specific condition. Condition you can determine or condition anyone can give. In healthcare application, we have talked about a lot of different applications here. A basic one. They enable dynamic responses. Yes, it is dynamic. We are just giving the value, and based on the value it will either go here, go here, go here. That is called dynamic. It is not only going to else every time. It is based on value. It is going to either this. You can write 10 of elif to make it more dynamic. Okay. It enabled dynamic responses to patient data following for personalized interventions and care plans. So this is about conditional operators. There is a lot more to do with in if and else, but for this class we are focused on basic if, basic else, basic elif, different operators like greater than, equal to, smaller than, then the combination of those, and few operators like and or not. Understand? So in this class we have talked about conditional operators. In the next class, we will talk about relational operators. Few of them we have already covered, so we will talk about them in more depth. Thank you.